I would appreciate knowing Father's personal thoughts on Thanksgiving after Holy Communion.
Well, I'm entirely in favor of it. St. Alphonsus Liguori, if he saw someone leaving Mass early, would actually have a couple of acolytes follow him with 2 candles and he was sighted them because he was actually carrying the Blessed Sacrament within him. They say for about 15 minutes or so, one can count on the Blessed Sacrament being present within you until your natural body processes consume the host. This means that at least during that time, someone should be thoroughly recollected about the divine presence. Our Lord comes to us because of his love. He wants to convey his love to us in this most extraordinary way. And when we think about the love that God has for us, that would motivate his providing his own body and blood, soul, and divinity to us in this way, not only in bringing the sacrifice that he made on the cross to us, making it visible to us upon the altar, but making it accessible to us as food, to actually unite with the sacrifice that he made in this wonderful way. He gives us an opportunity not only to come to the altar to meet him, bringing his love to us in this most amazing expression of love, but that we are able to bring our love to him. It is our love for him that motivates us to come forward, to kneel down. We have to have kept our souls without mortal sin to worthily receive him. We had to fast in order to worthily receive him. So there are certain things that we had to do, motivated by love for him, to be able to approach him in the sacrament, to receive him worthily. These simple things that we did, of course, are just tokens compared to what he did on the cross for us. But his love meets our love at the communion rail. And it is an exchange of love. I mean, he gives us his love and we present to him our love for him. So it is like this. It's just absolutely, well, again, breathtaking is the word that comes to mind. We should be so mindful of the divine presence there at the Mass, and when we go to receive our Lord in Holy Communion, so recollected as to what we are doing, why we're there, and who is coming to us, that is a single-minded thought, that we're not distracted by anything going on around us. We're just mindful of that divine presence coming to us. Then when we receive our Lord, of course, that should occupy all of our thoughts. So yes, we have to get up from the communion rail, walk back to our places. We're going to weep our way perhaps through a variety of people on the way back down the aisle. But we should try as much as possible to just be mindful about who we're carrying, that our Lord is present within us, even as our Blessed Mother was thoroughly aware. She carried our Lord within her. And we come back to our places. That is where we should completely be oblivious to everything else, right? I mean, the Mass will continue, it's true. But if we attend a large chapel with a lot of people receiving, we can easily have 10, 15 minutes right there while the communion itself is going on, to be thoughtful of nothing else but the divine presence within us. Our Lord is personally present there. That's the most amazing thought possible, really. And to try to unite our minds and our hearts to him. So really what we need to do is we really need to focus on that aspect of the love of God being present here. Here is the very source of love, the very creator of love. We have the infinite and eternal very source of what love is right there, personally present within us. And that he poured his love into that chalice, and that he pours his love into that Holy Eucharist, the host that we receive. And he wants to pour it into our hearts too. Our real thought should be that just as we open our mouths to receive the host, we should be thinking in terms of opening our hearts to him to receive the love that he has to pour into that, his own divine love that he wishes to fill us with, absolutely. Fill us to the brim. We should be focusing on that. It's more than a feeling. It's based on a conviction of faith of that divine presence. But there are feelings that do come from it. There's no doubt about it. There are feelings that are consequent upon the faith the realization of the truth and the awareness of that divine presence, of course there are feelings that come. But our whole self should be, our intellect, our wills, all of our emotions and our passions should all be focused on that divine presence. We go through life and our intellects, our wills, our passions, our emotions, in this world they're all over the place. But there, in that one moment that we receive our Lord in the Blessed Sacrament, they should all come together and all be focused utterly and completely on that divine presence within us. And it's all a matter of love, really. It comes down to that. If there's no love there, if there's a lovelessness that inspires one to just haphazardly go up to the communion rail and just go through the routine, that person basically comes to the communion rail empty-handed and empty-hearted and has nothing to give our Lord. But for those who approach the whole communion rail already, motivated by a genuine love for God, not perfect, but real, genuine, our Lord wants nothing more than to increase that love and perfect it. And with every communion, Holy Communion we receive, our Lord should be able to perfect our love more and more and more. We would therefore hope that every communion we receive, regardless of our feelings and emotions and moods and so on, that every single Holy Communion we received would be more devout and more loving than the one before, because we've received that much more grace with each successive Holy Communion. So there should be, for those who receive Holy Communion regularly, really a perceptible growth in holiness, in devotion to our Lord, and fidelity to Him. That's our goal. That's what we want to do. If we're making a Thanksgiving that is a little too cerebral or too intellectual and never gets to the level of, the will to draw that affection to our Lord and an act of self-surrendering love to Him, then it's missing the point.